Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Aquila View, where we talk about stories and experiences of teams across the globe for the world renowned STEM competition Formula One in schools. Today, we have with us Team Eclipse from United Kingdom. So, I'd like Team Eclipse to introduce themselves first. I'd start with Eve.
Hi, I'm Evie. I am the Enterprise Manager and HR for Eclipse.
Then we have Isaac.
Hello, I'm Isaac, and I'm the Marketing and Digital Media Manager.
Followed by Javier.
Hi, I'm Javier. I'm the team principal and design engineer for Eclipse.
Then we have Macy.
Everyone, my name's Maisie and I'm the outreach coordinator and driver.
And lastly, we have Tom.
Hello everyone, I'm the manufacturing engineer for Eclipse.
All right. So I hope you all guys are doing absolutely fine. And how's been the situation of COVID being there?
COVID here has been pretty rough at the moment, but we're slowly getting better and things are opening up again. And we've been able to go out and see more people. So we were all in lockdown, but now as a team we can kind of see each other more, which has been really good and really helpful.
That's amazing. Also, is there any others like who would like to share what's the scenario of COVID or like what is it like right now?
Yeah, I think it's calmed down a lot from where it once was. I know now our cases have cut down quite a bit, which is meaning they can lesser the restrictions, which I think is really good because it means we can start meeting each other more. I think it's better than it was.
That's amazing to hear, I guess, getting back to the normal. And I hope that soon we all are able to compete and in a more physical manner that it used to be, right? Because Formula One is all about racing. And if you do not have that, I mean, there's no spike in that, right? So coming back to my first question, that how you all came together and when was it that who decided that all right, we should form a team and we should compete in this prestigious competition?
So back in the end of 2019, our mentor who runs the F1 Schools competition at QE, Elizabeth Grammar School, if you're not aware, basically was not too keen on starting the whole program again after winning the World Finals with Evolve. And I saw how much fun it was for Team Evolve who came from the school. So I decided to contact him. And so I kind of convinced him to set up the team. So we sent emails to the whole school. Everyone made an application and came through all the applicants from the school. And then finally came to this team. And ever since then, we've had a few changes, but this is the team we're going to stick with for the future.
Okay, so then comes my next question, that I mean, what do you think about the competition when I talk about Formula One in schools? Like, what is the reason why you all are competing in it, and what do you like? What do you expect out of it? Like, there might be a reason that why you all are doing it, right? So, what is your perspective on that?
Well, personally, I feel like we're all doing it for different reasons. Some of us want to go into engineering in the future. For example, I think Javier wants to go and do some engineering with McLaren, maybe. While Tom wants to do naval architect. But I think we all saw the competition as such a massive thing at QE purely because of Evolve. And we saw, as Javier said, how much fun everyone was having, and we saw the skills that they can gain from it, and just the whole future aspiration side of it, and the experience as a whole. We thought it was just so great towards us as a team, now our individual selves. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you stated, that everyone has a particular reason why they're doing it, right? And obviously, when we see Formula One in schools as a competition, and I mean, if you see it as a whole, there are multiple perspective to it, I guess, because it's just not engineering being involved here. There are multiple things that get like as we all stated our designations, that someone is managing enterprise and someone is managing sponsorships and someone is designing some graphics for the team, and then someone is obviously making and manufacturing the car. So yeah, I guess we all definitely have some, different reasons for doing the same competition. So this question is something that I personally wanted to ask you all guys, that how's the journey so far been, right? Because obviously, when you work in a team, there are multiple things that come into play. That there might be conflicts, there might be things going on, and there might be there might be mismanagement of time. So I mean, what is how's the journey right till here? And please explain that with context to your designations. So let's start with Eve, and then we'll follow the same order.
Our different job roles, we've all kind of like developed as we've formed as a team over the years, if that makes sense. Like we've all learned about each other, especially in the first lockdown. I feel like before that we weren't really close as a team. It was more of just forming and getting to know each other, whereas we've properly learnt about each other now, and we've been able to work out what everyone really is interested in. And I think that's made us stronger and like made us closer as friends. And I think that's one of the main things in our journey is becoming closer connected as a team.
Okay, coming to Isaac.
I think to kind of add on what Evie said is that like through making all these connections with each other, we're able to almost like help each other learn and develop new skills, which I think will be really helpful in the future. I think it's a very good thing to do to help you later in life.
Coming to JVR.
Yeah, just basically adding on to that, I just think F1 in school is such a brilliant competition to learn skills you wouldn't in school. Of course, it's an extracurricular thing for us, not sure about you, but some of the skills we learn from it, you would never learn just doing your daily classes. So, yeah, very vital if you want to be whatever, the top of your industry or something like that at a young age. Learning those skills is really important.
Exactly. What's your opinion, Macy?
So I feel like everyone has done a lot of the talking about like the whole friends thing. Like, I feel like personally collaborations comes into a lot because sitting at a desk at school, you just see the people around you and you do the test, you do everything. But through the competition, you get to meet you get to collaborate with external partners and different companies that will draw you into your future aspirations. And I feel like that as a whole, just really targeting your confidence skills or your team building, just everything as a whole, it comes in massively.
Yeah. Tom?
Well, I came into the team about 3 months ago, so I'm fairly new to the competition. But I came in to kind of because the rest of the team were getting a bit bogged down with work, and a few other team members left the team because they felt it was a bit too much. But I came in to kind of sort that out. So I guess I've learned a lot working these last couple of months, like getting involved with the team. The team were really welcoming, and sometimes it's good to get someone new in to get a different perspective in, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I guess hearing to what you all guys said, even if we consider ourselves on in your position, I mean, we all think the similar way that all right, it's just not a team to us. I mean, it's a family because we've been working for past, I guess, 5 to 6 months, and it's a lot that we have learned from each other, and it's the connection, and obviously, as JV talked that all right, it's the extracurricular activity that we have been doing, but. Like if I talk about like doing this as an extracurricular part, it won't justify it because definitely what we have learned is more than what any theory or any academic course that we take could uh, get out of it. So this question is regarding sponsorship. So, while approaching sponsors, what's the most important thing you guys keep in mind, and what's the strategy, and like what all things that one should keep in mind while approaching to sponsors? Because obviously, everything, the whole team is dependent on funding, and funding is totally dependent on sponsorship. So, I would you like to explain what it is and how you approach all these sponsors?
So when we approach sponsors, we have to keep in mind like trying to be friendly with them to make and keep a good relationship, but also to work with our return on investment scheme, which is like it's a tier system where depending on like how we're supported by our sponsors, we can give certain things back. And we have to always make sure that we're keeping up with that so that sponsors get the best out of what we're doing, because that it kind of offers an incentive for them to work with us. And I think we value that very highly in our team, and it's important.
I would also add, I would also add on that I think the most important thing about collaboration is how can you give back to your sponsors. Basically, adding on to what Isaac said, they've been nice enough to help you, and that might be through manufacturing some components for the competition or purely giving you sponsorship, giving back to them and showing, look, how you're impacting, for example, the community, or how are you using their money to help others around you and further yourself become more successful in the competition. So yeah, main thing is returning to your sponsors.
Exactly. Also, I mean, when we talk about return on investments, so what is it like? I mean, say for suppose, as a team, we know that all right, we have a few ROIs that we could give to our sponsors, but when we talk about the investment that they make, is it really worth? I mean, the return that we give in return, what do you think? Is it really worth the money that they are spending on our team? Because this is the question that most of the sponsors do ask everyone, that all right, what do we get in return? Because they definitely are looking for marketing opportunities, right? So is it really worth the money they spent on us?
Yeah, definitely. Like when we go and meet them in person, obviously we have to show them everything we do. But as outreach coordinator, I personally work with sponsors to look at stuff like the primary STEM program we take into primary schools. And I feel like sponsors really enjoy the community aspect. They're not just giving to the team, they're giving to the community, and they're helping build up this STEM in the younger generation that then they can use in the future, for example, with jobs and just improving that aspect in general. And I feel like sponsors, they really enjoy it's not just a competition thing, it's our whole thing. And our ethos really does this with innovative engineering for the future, because we don't just look at what we're doing now, we look at it we look towards what is going to happen. And especially just everything in general through social media, they like promotion through that. But I feel like the sponsors personally are not seeing it as a burden on them to do all this, but they enjoy collaborating with us for other reasons.
Oh, so we talked about that, all right. In return, like we talked about return on investments, about sponsorship. So, but I'd like to know that, all right, what is the process like? I mean, could you take us through the process that, all right, when you start writing to them, or like how's the process being, from approaching the sponsors to getting the sponsorship done, and is there anything that we need to care after one has given a sponsorship?
So just to start off with, we usually send an email, and then if they don't say reply to our email because they're very busy and they get lots of emails, we send a letter, and then if we really want them, we might even send a phone call, and then if they want to consider us for a sponsorship, then we'll have either a face-to-face meeting before COVID happened, and then a Zoom meeting, just to kind of get to know them a bit more and kind of tell them what we're about and what we want to achieve with them.
I mean, meetings used to happen, and even after COVID, meetings might have shifted to virtual. So there's a thing. I mean, obviously, we all make a sponsorship prospectus, but what does a sponsorship prospectus should have in it, so that it should look appealing, and also the sponsor whom we're meeting should like have, like, after seeing it, they're like, all right, they have a point.
I think there is things that we have to take in consideration when, like you say, about the prospectus about sponsorships. But I feel like as a team, we don't really stick to a set thing that we do for every sponsor. We have a sponsorship triangle, which is like, I think Isaac could go more into depth about this if you would like, but we kind of look at our different sponsors and say, look, you're going to give us this back, so we're going to approach you in this certain way. I feel like everything's different in the ways that we talk to our sponsors depending on who they are, but they all really are engaged in our team and want updates. I think that's what you were asking, but I'm not sure Isaac could go more in depth.
So to elaborate on the return of investment triangle, so depending on the financial support or manufacturing support a sponsor offers us, we will have certain rewards depending on the value we've been given. For example, our platinum sponsor, for example, our top sponsor can basically kind of help influence our social media if they wanted to, and can work a lot closely with us. Whereas other sponsors, it's a bit confusing, but they're like different levels depending on how much they help us.
So, if I talk about particularly in engineering and manufacturing, so what was your aim while like testing the car, or what was your aim? Like, were you while testing the car aerodynamically? Was it a calculated aim or just a random aim? And I mean, what was the output of that?
So obviously during lockdown, we weren't able to do any physical testing. So this largely had to be through CFD, computer fluid dynamics, and over this time we did a lot of that. Obviously utilising the time well, and then when we got back into school, you might have read on our F1 in Schools Teams I View blog. But basically, when we went back to school, we had everything ready. So we were there to smash it out, print everything we needed to with the school's machinery, testing. So I guess this included, for example, running the car down our 10-meter track. We even set up our homemade 20-meter track to try and replicate the conditions at a competition. Obviously, it's quite difficult. So, yeah.
All right. Also, I mean, what was your mindset while designing the model or the car? I mean, what was your inspiration, and did it help you while designing the things, or I mean, what was that experience be like?
I mean, since the start of the team Eclipse, we've basically been developing one car as long-term development, like real F1 teams. Something we started doing was sketching ideas, looking at the very best cars, like how can we adapt them in a better way, just like real F1. But initially, just doing sketches, writing up, like drawing up in CAD, seeing what works best in CFD. That kind of development process at the beginning until we came to a set car and then could build off that. And that's what we've been doing since then.
Okay. Also, if I talk about all the portfolios and all the documents, is there any particular channel, or is there a particular way that you guys design the things, right? Because if you talk about engineering portfolio, obviously, manufacturing engineer and the design engineer and the person who did all the CAA and testing involves involves in. So, I mean, is there a particular channel that you guys have decided, or I mean, what does that look like?
Well, our school run on the basis of Google, so we've got like Google Slides, Google Docs. So I feel like as a team, we can all like collaborate on that pretty easily, and we all have control over that. So we can just write a document, send it over to each other, get it checked, and all be on there at the same time through like Google Meets, and then we use Zoom with sponsors with meetings with sponsors. We recently obviously started the blog with F1 in Schools, so we write that on a Google Doc and then send that over to the website. And then Javier with the design engineering, he uses his CAD software. So it's a mix. It depends what's best fit for the role, really. With the enterprise portfolios and stuff, we usually use Google Slides, just because then Evie can write it and then someone else can edit. Yeah, just a mix.
Amazing. Also, I mean, since COVID has obviously affected a lot of things, so how it has affected your marketing campaign, or some of the ROIs that you might have planned. So, what was the last minute changes, and how does that risk management factor comes into play here?
Yeah, so obviously because of COVID, we haven't been able to have many like promotional events this year, and they've all had to be over Zoom. We've had a few Zoom meetings organised with one of our sponsors, BAE, and they're doing like a promotional event with some of the children of the staff there. But basically, we try to focus it all over social media, because you can do that from sitting at your home, not having to even put up a Zoom meeting. You can just pop on your phone, put something on the social media just to let everyone know what you're doing, and just to make sure that you're still active and you're still doing what you said you were doing.
Exactly. Also, I mean, not the last question, but what is your opinion, and what do you think that why should all the kids who are in high school, or maybe in the age between 9 to 19 should do this competition, and what's the like we definitely talked about the benefits of it, but why should they enroll in, and why should they be a part of this amazing and beautiful community of FNN schools?
I think it's just such a great competition in terms of what you can get out of it. Like, lots of people may just see it as really lots of work, but to be honest, as a team, I think we've all learned more through F1 than we have in lots of our normal subjects that we would do at school, because it pushes you into the working world and doing portfolios and talking to people. It's something that you can't get anywhere else, and it's so great in building confidence as well. So I think as a competition, it has so many benefits, and I think everyone should do it in some way or another.
I would just add on to that I think it's a brilliant point Evie's making. And I would also say, just simply, the more you put into it, the more you get out. The more time and the more investment you put into it of your work, maybe setting aside some schoolwork at times, the more you're going to get out of it. If you know you want to be an engineer or you know you want to do something in STEM, I think it's vital that you take part if you can.
Exactly. Also, I mean, I would like to know, I mean, we already had a conversation for around, I guess, half an hour or more. So this was obviously a conversation that people would listen to, but I'd like to know that, all right, working together means having a lot of fun moments, right? So I'd like you guys to share that, all right, which was that fun moment, or how do you guys have breaks, or I like you guys to have share memories and fun moments that you still remember. And I guess obviously competition is for learning, but competition is also for making memories, right? So let's start with Eve.
I think it is a competition, and it is similar to be working in a business, but then again, like you say, there are so many memories that you can make in this competition, and we are really closely connected as a team, and over Zoom and stuff, it's been really nice to have a call. We can call them people every single day, and we can just keep updating, and we can laugh with them, and I think it is, like you say, a family, and it's really, really nice.
Coming to Isaac.
I think kind of building on Evie's idea of being like a sort of family, it's like there are some things which I'd say with our team that you might not want to talk about with other people. And I think being in this kind of group, it's really helps to bring us together and to kind of help us improve each other's skills and to develop more. And I think it's really important for us.
Yeah. Kavia.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that and say, of course, in a family, you're always going to have arguments, and there's ups and downs. We don't always work the best, but this season, I feel like after lockdown, we just became really, really good friends. And obviously, Tom was a friend of mine and was really easy to bring into the team. I think we were very welcoming. I think you would agree with that. And obviously, Tom, very sociable person. So we've all got on really, really well. More of a family now. And because of that, because of being so close to each other, we work really well together.
Amazing. Macy, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, I feel like there have been so many highlights to this journey. I mean, I feel like in the first lockdown, we got to know each other so much more. I mean, I'm personally friends with Evie outside, so we already knew most things about each other. But you learn more about each other in the way of, like, Tom does sailing and I do sports and Evie does photography, and just stuff that you would not really know outside of F1 in schools. And it does tie into that close-knit family. And, like, obviously there's been so many funny moments at the competition, but I feel like overall it's just such a good, especially with collaborations with BAE Systems, our platinum sponsor. I feel like there's been so many moments in which you can look back on and be like, yes, I have done something, yes, I have done that, but also I haven't done it under the pressure of work. I've done it under the fun of being with my family. And yeah.
Exactly. Tom?
Yeah, so obviously only being in the team 3 months, I haven't actually been to a competition yet, but and I'm really looking forward to going. But some of the things that I've really enjoyed so far is working with some of our sponsors, and getting opportunities from them to speak with other people, speak with outside speakers, and kind of you can get a bit more idea of where you want to go in your future. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, I guess. And it was lovely hearing your experiences and memories. And what do you think of Formula One in schools. And definitely, I guess interacting with you guys really. I mean, it was really fun, and it really gave me an insight. And I hope that whosoever listens to this podcast would definitely get to know that, all right, what it is to be in a Formula One in schools competition, right? So I guess by this we are and like we have come to an end of this podcast, and I'm really glad and thankful to each and every member of Team Eclipse who took out time from their busy schedules and joined us over the podcast. And it was really fun interacting with you guys, and I hope that this collaboration I mean stays for forever, right? Because as we discussed, that it's about connecting with people, right? So I guess this is it.
But thank you very much. It's been really nice to collaborate internationally. We haven't done it many. It's been lovely. We thank you for the opportunity. It's been really nice, and thank you for being so lovely to us. But yeah, thank you very much again.
Pleasure.